This is Elon Musk. I thought we'd use Tesla as an example just to indicate how it's possible, as I said earlier, to plot different stakeholders and assess their value for research. So I'm imagining for a moment that we might be working for the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. They have $250 million worth of shares in Tesla. So I imagine they're quite exercised about A, whether they're going to get their money back, and B, if they do get their money back, will they make any money on it? So if the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Norway decides to retain us for research purposes, who do we want to talk to, assuming Elon Musk will give us access to whoever we want to? Well, the first instinct might be to say, well, if this business is to succeed, there has to be buyers. Now, we know people are buying Tesla cars at the moment, but it doesn't necessarily follow that they'll buy Tesla the next time and the time after that. So in that sense, their commitment is relatively low. And while they obviously know a fair bit about the car on the basis that they're actually driving one, their information is about the car rather than about the business. So they're important, but they're not everything. The second group is obviously investors like our Norwegian Sovereign Fund. They're certainly committed in financial terms, but do they actually know an awful lot about how the Tesla business operates? I suspect possibly not. Another group might be commentators. They might have a lot of information, but it would be quite specialized information. So let's say financial journalists or motoring journalists or those sort of people. Their commitment is weak. It doesn't matter too much to them whether Tesla succeeds or fails. The final group is these: the staff, the dealers, who are obviously trade customers, and the supplier to Tesla. I think if we want to understand how Tesla works as a business and whether Tesla can actually succeed as a business in the future, we need to talk to people who have a vested interest in the future and have enough inside understanding of how the Tesla business works to comment usefully for the purposes of research. This sort of research isn't easy, and I think that's probably why we don't do as much of it as we do. In order for it to be credible to the clients, it has to be certain things. It certainly has to be independent and objective. It certainly has to be conducted by skilled and experienced researchers. And I think if it is those two things, it will be credible to the clients who commission it. Not just to the marketing departments, but to the whole businesses. So I would encourage all of us to think more about how we can actually contribute not just to marketing decisions, but to business decisions. And I hope this simple little technique will be helpful in that respect. Thank you.